Welcome back to the Aquarius training video series on the report tool. In the first video, we looked at how to start the report tool. Now let's focus on using it to manually run some reports. The Aquarius system comes with a number of report templates out of the box. We'll use those ones for now. So to start, I'll go as before and use this location. And I'll select this discharge data set and open the report tool. I'll choose a template from this list of these ones that come with the system by default. And I'll choose, how about this one, daily mean by year. And again, notice that when I started the toolbox, it started in production mode, which is the mode we want to use if we're simply running reports on finished designs. So with this daily mean by year report template selected, I'll go ahead and click the preview button. So while in the previewer, you can scroll through and you can do things like zoom in and zoom out. It's mostly to give you a quick visual look before you actually run the report and save it to a file. To actually run the report, I'll close out of the previewer, returning to the report toolbox, and this time instead of clicking preview, I'll click run. And this asks me to save a report output to a file. And if I go ahead and have a look at that file, it's as I saw in the previewer, in PDF format. Okay. So that's the very simplest case, running a report template with all the template's default settings. Now you can change those settings a little bit at runtime though, so let's have a look at that through these controls here. For example, you'll see so far I've been running on just the past 2 years of data. How about I change that to run for the last 5 years? And by changing this this option here to from data to from calendar, I'm saying, okay, run it from the past 5 years starting from now. So if today is 2013 and I have 5 years, I'm running it for 2013, 2012, 2011, 2010, and 2009. If I switch it back to 5 years from data, I'm saying, okay, run it for the last 5 years that are in this data set. So if that data set only goes up to 2008, it's going to run from 2003 to 2008. To round out this example, how about I change the number of decimal places that I want it to show in all the boxes, and I'll change it so that it puts not available in for any missing data points. And how about for the output format, I make it in as a text file instead of a PDF. If I click preview again, you can see that, yeah, I've only got 2 decimal places now, and missing data is shown with an NA instead of a star, just like I put in my template options. Okay, so these changes to the parameters that I just made, say this is how I expect to be running this report usually, and I don't want to have to specify, not available in 2 and 5 years every time I run this report. So what I'm going to do is save these options so I can run with them again later. To do that, I'll go to the report menu and I'll choose save. I'll choose save as actually. And it asks me to give it a name. So how about I just put in something like 5 years text file, and we'll do that. See how it puts that name that I chose down in this box over here under Report Properties. Now, if I go back up to my list of reports and templates, you'll notice that it's put a new line here underneath that daily mean by year. You'll recall daily mean by year is the template that I started with, and this here is called a report description. That's what I just made. It shows up just like it was a template, but it's just sort of underneath the one that I began with. And it basically stores those options that I selected. And because it's in this list, I can quickly choose it again later if I was coming into the report tool. So if I started over again and I choose that data set, come into the report tool, go to my list, all I got to do is choose 5 years to a text file, and everything's set up the way I had it. So if I go ahead and run that now, and I'll save it to this file here, I'll call it test 2 this time. And let's go have a look. There's my report. Okay. Now, as you would expect, you can create as many of these report descriptions as you like. And if you want to get rid of one, just select it and choose Report Delete. And now it's gone from the list. Okay, so to summarize, running reports manually from Springboards involves selecting some data sets, starting the tool, selecting a report description or report template, and then either previewing it or running it to save it to a file. You can change report parameters here, and you can save those changes that you make as a report description by going Report Save. And that will cause it to stick in the list here.